Yeah, you've got it, folks. It's the York Sports Report show from Chicago. Kate Goslin, take a Valium. You're nuts. Have a good time with your friends tonight. Like these guys from London, England, in the bell bottoms, getting it on. Rocking and rolling. It's game one between the Vancouver Canucks and the Chicago Blackhawks. There's Alex Burrows last year, pulling Duncan Keith's hair. What a wimp. Shane O'Brien, Seabrook, I'm sure we'll see those guys tango. Ben Eager and BX that pay $1 million to see it. I'm crazy. Kessler, Patrick Kane, Scarlett, come on over. Don't think about it. Just watch the game with me. Tonight, if you're going to get like this guy, don't drive. Jonathan Toews, he's a focused gun. No doubt about it. Lindsay Lohan could be going back to jail. Haggard.
All right, it is that time. It is game one. Vancouver Canucks, the Chicago Blackhawks. Hi everyone, I'm Jason York. Thanks for joining me on the York Sports Report Show. It is Saturday. We've been waiting for this game for we've been waiting 5 days for this game. It is finally here. The Canucks, Hawks, game one for the United Center in Chicago. Home ice this year goes to the Hawks. It is going to be an electric series. It's going to be a physical series. It's going to be an intense series. Both cities are alive. There's this ambiance in Vancouver that is starting to really sort of get heated up. Unfortunately, I'm in the wrong city, I being a Chicago Blackhawks fan. However, though, this series already has reached that place of controversy. The NHL has sent out a memo or a phone call, something along the lines like that, to the Vancouver Canucks to warn Roberto Luongo, not specifically Roberto, but apparently there are leaks of information saying that this was directed at Roberto Luongo. And I think every other team got this memo, but Roberto really got this one kind of served up to him. And it comes down to, Roberto, stop the embellishing. And I have to agree, I totally agree. I think Roberto Luongo is one of the greatest acting goalies ever. He's a great goaltender. He's got great intensity, great passion. Roberto can come up with big time saves here and there, but Roberto sometimes can embellish, and that's the one thing I don't like him. I sit there and I watch there and I say, one day it is going to cost this team greatly. I know the big issue is Dustin Byfuglien's going to be in his crease all night long, like Lionel Richie would sing, but at the end of the day, Roberto's got to play through that. Roberto has to play through that. And if he gets bumped, he can't add sort of the extra sort of embellishment of, oh, I got hit, can't you tell? I'm going to add a little bit more to the feature here. And that's what he always does. I don't care what anyone says. That's what Roberto Luongo does. But that has reached the airwaves now, that Roberto is embellishing, and the league wants him to clean it up. The other thing, too, now, is that Quenneville has spoken the last couple days after the Hawks practice, again mentioning that it is going to come down to discipline. And this series is all going to be about discipline. But that being said, I think the big issue here, though, is going to be the Vancouver Canucks and how they play defense. You've got Rome, you've got Alberts. Those are your sort of extra defenseman guys. We don't know how long or how tough or how strong they're going to play against Dustin Byfuglien. But at the end of the day, if these guys can't do it, I don't know if BX and O'Brien can do it. They tried last year and they didn't succeed. But if they bring that nasty sort of pit bull mentality to the table, and sometimes maybe make Dustin Byfuglien's caps pay for it by the old shearwood aluminum stick job, then do it. Being a Blackhawks fan, I'm just saying, hey, that's the way I would play against Dustin Byfuglien. I would make his ankles hurt. I would tear up his calves with the blade of my stick. But it is going to be interesting to see how the Hawks and the Canucks fare tonight in Game 1. Again, that's at 5 o'clock our time, 7 o'clock Chicago time. It should be a great game. The cities are just coming alive. It's going to be good. I want to say something here, though, about Tiger Woods. And I don't want to, I'm not saying I'm the only one that said this, but switching sports, obviously, here, NHL Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods missed the cut yesterday, and I think that's his 6th time in his career. Now, Tiger Woods, as I said before, he goes into recovery, you come out, and you are completely, utterly raw. they more or less try and strip every survival sort of habitual sort of tactic tool that you hang on to. And that's how a lot of humans live. We live by survival tools that we got from some standards and all that stuff and some beliefs and all that crap. And some of it works and some of it doesn't. But Tiger Woods now is melting down. And I don't care what anyone says, Tiger Woods is starting to feel. And I said that as he went into the Masters. And in the second and the third, or the third and the fourth round, he started to feel. He started to show his feelings. He started to let his feelings get the best of him. And he couldn't handle it. And I think that's exactly what's happening right now with Tiger Woods. The best and the worst thing that Tiger Woods ever did for this little thing is that he went into sex rehab. I mean, if the guy's got a sexual addiction problem, folks, buckle up, because when you've got issues with sex and drugs and alcohol, gambling, whatever your addiction might be, it runs through your mind. That's what the disease is all about. Addiction centers in the it centers in the mind. It doesn't come from your hands or your feet, or your feet go, hey, I'm going to do some drugs today. It centers up here. You've kind of gotten used to it, so it takes on its own whirlwind upstairs here, and that's all one thinks about. Why do you think alcoholics are alcoholics? Where do you think that comes from? It doesn't just come, hey, I'm going to go have a drink. It centers in the mind. And Tiger Woods, if his thing is sex, well, guess what's going through his mind 2, 4, and 7? I mean, it used to be like that for a few years when he was in this behavior zone, and now he's trying to rub it out of there. It takes a long time to erase this stuff and replace it with, genuine sort of good, healthy thinking of a good mind. And I think this is finally getting to Tiger Woods, and I think we're seeing it. That being said, Lindsay Lohan is looking like she might go to jail. Go to rehab. She bought a gun.
And now she's in court looking like haggard. This is her last week in Surrey. You look like you're from Surrey, Lindsay.
There's some spread with her with the gun or something, apparently. But anyways, enough of that Hollywood garbage. I am looking forward to this series. I've been waiting for this series. The thing with the fans in Vancouver and the Canucks and the media here, they're calling it sort of the revenge series. I don't know if the Canucks personally, and I like the way the Canucks are starting to talk, though. They're handling this very gentlemanlike. They're not saying anything derogative about the Hawks. I mean, they've got to, in some accounts, respect the Blackhawks, for sure, and you have to. I mean, never mind their skill, but at the end of the day, this is the team that knocked them out. And people are saying, well, what's better about the Canucks and the Hawks? Well, last year the Hawks didn't have Marian Hossa. That's another player that the Canucks have to deal with. Never mind Sharp and Kane and Taves. They've got to deal with Marian Hossa last year. Last year they had Martin Havlat. And Martin Havlat scored a couple of late winning goals, or a couple of big time goals for the Hawks in Calgary and against Vancouver. But now you're adding a player that's better. Marian Hossa is a better player than Martin Havlat by far. So again, I think this comes down to Chicago's defense in terms of their fatigue. Was this 5-day break good? I think it was. I hope it was. Seabrook and Keith, those guys were dog tired after the Olympics. I don't care what anyone says. They were absolutely tired.
Dustin Buffett, I want him to drop the gloves tonight against somebody. Kim Kardashian apparently had gas. I wonder why. Look at that caboose. And remember, if you're going to drink tonight, watch the game, just sit back and relax like this fella.